Yo, what is up gamers? My name is Russ and today I'm going to bring you a list of all the resources that I have compiled into a nice little kind of note script for you, and they'll all be linked down below. It should be everything that you need to be successful in Season 1 of Dragonflight. Oh, by the way, I hope you're all enjoying the game. I'm very much enjoying it. A little bit too much, I guess. But as I said, I have a huge list of resources and I'm going to be linking them all down below. And if you've got any questions, you can obviously comment down below or head over to my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/JustRuss, and ask me any questions there, or just come hang out. I'm chatting with you guys every single day. So we're going to start with the kind of easy stuff. Some of these you might already know, might already have, but I just want to make like an entire checklist of everything that you need. So the first one is a boss mod. You obviously want something like deadly boss mods or bigwigs are the usual two. I think the only two that we can go for. So choose one of those. Out of the box, I'd say deadly boss mods works a little bit better. So that's an add-on. You can get that over on CurseForge. Download CurseForge or go to CurseForge on your internet browser. Find deadly boss mods or bigwigs, whichever one you prefer, and download it on here. If you got CurseForge, you can go to get more add-ons and type it up the top. That's how you do that. This is not sponsored by CurseForge, I wish. But yeah, get a boss mod. Super easy. Another mandatory add-on I would say is WeakAuras. This one, insanely powerful. You can basically make add-ons within this add-on. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then all of this stuff you're about to see flash up on my screen, these are all WeakAuras. They assist me with kind of like reminding me when abilities are ready, showing me my resources and stuff like that. So super powerful add-on. I would say it's mandatory in this day and age. Get yourself WeakAuras, get yourself deadly boss mods. Got those two out of the way nice and quick. So moving on to non-mandatory kind of add-ons that I would suggest would be an add-on, any kind of nameplate add-on here. Like we got Plater. I use Plater. Plater has, you can download profiles off wago.io, which I'm going to be showcasing in a second. Or you can use Plater out of the box. I'd recommend a profile. You can find some good ones on Wago, and this will give you like all of your, I can't really test it here because I'm not at the target dummies, but it'll give you, track your debuffs on the enemies. You can get mods for it. I've got a crazy good mod where it helps me kick in Mythic Plus, so I'll share that one in another video at a later time. And you can get them to kind of like glow on the actual nameplate when your debuffs are expiring. So if you're playing a dot class or something, and let's say your immolate's expiring on a destruction warlock, it'll flash, so you don't have to like look at the WeakAura down here in the middle of your screen. You can just look straight at the nameplate and be like, oh, I need to refresh my immolate. So Plater's super good for that. As I said, there's loads of mods. You can get it to shorten the names, so it's easier to kind of see your targets in Mythic Plus. Apparently someone's spotted me in game. Oh, it's Phantasm. Nice. So there's that one. Another one I would suggest is Method Raid Tools. This is an add-on again. It's got a bunch of different stuff. The main reason I use it for is, as you can see in my top left of my screen up here, I've got a marks bar. So this is the marks bar kind of module in this add-on. You can also force it to like override people's marks in your party. If you always play with the same people, you can just enable this and it will make sure that they're always marked with that. So it doesn't get overridden by like various boss mods putting markers up. So that's good as well. Another cool thing with this add-on is we have the raid cooldowns. You can actually use it to track like everything. I don't really use this right now, but if I were to enable this, brings up this little window and then I can choose what I want to be tracking. So if we go down to DH, for example, I can track now my darkness. If I want to track like all externals, then I can tick all the externals like, Blessing of Protection, Hand of Sacrifice, Spell Warding if I want to track that, or the Priest Guardian Spirit. And if I have these classes in my party, it'll pop up here and you can, mess around with all the size and stuff. This is a cool, that's like a huge thing of that add-on. And then the last thing is it's got the RT note, which is very useful for raiding. If you're raiding in a pre-made group like a guild or something, then you can put like little notes either to yourself or to your whole team, telling them, oh, you're going to be in group 2, which goes to the platform second, for example. Or, sometimes you have to split the groups in a raid. You can put the groups into this little note so everyone can have a little reminder. So that's Method Raid Tools. Really good add-on. Then we have, like any kind of generic WeakAura package for your class. So now tab out here quickly. I just use DH as an example because I'm on my DH, but if you go to Wago, there's a website called wago.io. Okay, you go to this website. Let me just open it in a fresh tab for you guys. Wago.io. It's going to bring you here, you can really search for anything. So there are LVY profiles here. There's Plater, like I mentioned. There's OPI ones. WeakAuras is what I mainly use it for. So they've got Dragonflight, Classic, or Wrath. We're going to go to Dragonflight, and then you've got all these drop downs, right? I can just click on Havoc and find any kind of Havoc-oriented WeakAuras that I'm looking for. You can browse through these. There's tons and tons and tons and tons. Very, very good website. Play around with them a bit. I get most of my WeakAuras off here, and then I edit them myself to how I like them, because, you know, I want them to present information how I receive it best. So that would be my recommendation. You can also search in the top if you're looking for a specific WeakAura, like for Ragefire or something like that. On the DH as another example. If I want to find out when my Ragefires are going to pop, I'm sure there you go, something like that, where it will tell me how much my Ragefire has. Like, you can pretty much just use the search bar and see what you can find, and someone will have a package that you like and get on with. So that is Wago, and that would be my recommendation for like class WeakAuras. Get yourself a package, and then just play around with it. You can, you can take some out the package. You can delete, certain ones from the package that you don't like, or mess around with them. So that'd be my add-on, or like my kind of suggestion for WeakAura packages. I'll probably do a full video of like my WeakAuras when I kind of properly make them. I'm a bit all over the place with mine right now. Like, they give me the information that I receive, but I don't know if they're like kind of user friendly for other people. So I'm probably gonna mess around with mine and make them look all nice, and then I'll probably share them in a later video. So feel free to subscribe for that if you want to see that in the future. I'll do that for all the classes that I play. And I'll probably also do another video down the line about like all my favorite add-ons, because I've just mentioned a couple here. There's loads and loads of good add-ons that I have. I'll probably make a list of like my top 10 add-ons or something, and we'll go through all the functionality and stuff like that. So if you want to see that, comment down below and I'll know for sure that I need to make that video. But yeah, then you've got class discords. So we're going to have a little look at, before I leak my DMs, let me scroll down here. Right, so class discords, I'll link all these down in the description as well. I'm probably not in all of them, but these are the ones that I'm in. Yeah, they have tons and tons of resources, as you can see here. You're scrolling through. If I move this over here, we have like, this is the rogue one. They've got a section for assassination, outlaw, subtlety. Like, this tells you all the information about it, all the talents, all these extra things. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop for all the guides, and they usually link to all the guides and all the little pictures and stuff. Then they have another one for outlaw, then they have another one for subtlety, and then they've also got these kind of like chat rooms down here where people talk about those specs. You can ask questions. So these are really good for getting information, and kind of, again, people might share their WeakAuras. Definitely, I recommend checking the pins. People will go crazy at you if you ask a question which has already been answered in the pins of a certain spec, and they have to answer it 50 times a day. So check the pins before you ask. If you can't find it in the pins or in the kind of resources in the FAQs or something, in every class Discord has these and does it the same way, then ask your question and just say, I checked the pins. And people will much more likely be like, oh, he checked the pins. Cool, this guy knows. Okay, so that's class discords. Next, we have a iLevel cheat sheet that I just thought was a cool resource. So again, this will be linked in the description. I'm going to open it up in an Imgur here so I can zoom in a bit. But it looks very, very complicated. Once you get your head around it, you can start to see where things sync up. But it's kind of just, this is normal dungeon item level, heroic dungeon item level, mythic dungeon item level 372, as you've probably been farming in Mythic Zeros. So down in this column, we can see this is like, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the mythic dungeon level and the loot that it will reward. Like, the loot that it will reward is down these two columns here. So, your 405s are coming from your 19/20s at the end of the dungeon, as you can see at the top here. And then you've got your weekly vault telling you, what iLevel that's going to reward. So your plus 20 in the weekly vault is going to give 421. Then you've got the Valor upgrades. So to start upgrading your Valor, there's a bunch of different ranks. I think it's like 13 ranks. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 13. So the max rank is 13. So the max upgrade for Mythic Plus is 415. So that means you get your drop from a 405 at, you know, level 19 and 20, and you've got to upgrade it 3 more times to get it to 415. But that means you need 2,400 valor. That's what's in these brackets here. So you can start to see it kind of makes sense. It's pretty well laid out. So this is a good infographic. Probably keep that favorited, save it, set it as your desktop background or something, so you can always come back to it and know exactly kind of like where to go with your gearing journey. And it's got a little section about crafting and stuff as well. Crafting's super important. I don't know if I'll make a video about crafting, but I can link a couple good crafting ones. Nagura made a quite good crafting video, so I'll probably just link it in the description down below as well. Next one, we got Jimmynickles cheat sheet. So this one, I don't know Jimmynickles, but somebody linked this in my guild Discord, and I thought this was really, really cool. So you can't really see below my webcam, but just down here, maybe you can, there's a little tab for each dungeon. So on the front page, he's got a plater profile, as I talked about plater earlier. He's got a plater profile for this one. You could probably just straight up import that. I haven't used it myself, so I don't know, because I use my own profile. But that might be a good jumping off point. Maybe it colors mobs, you know, who are casters and stuff like that. Just give it a look. I mean, actually, let's take a look together. Can we do that? So it looks like, you know, it's got some screenshots here. Looks like a technician. Oh, there you go. He's got color-coded nameplates. So if it's got an interrupt, it's going to be blue. If it's got something that you need to knock or stun, it's going to be purple. If it has a cleave or a frontal, it's going to be yellow. And if it's got a dispel or a purge that you need to do, it might be purple. So that's actually kind of good one for learning the dungeons, I'd say. Like, I'd probably recommend jumping this with this. I might even try it out for a little bit, to be honest. Just to learn which mobs are dangerous, which ones need interrupting and stuff. But he goes through all this in the cheat sheet if we go into it. So let's say we do the Assail Vault page. There's a tab down at the bottom, like I pointed to a second ago. It's got like all the information about the trash and like the dangerous trash mobs, like the one that you consider dangerous. They've got like a big interrupt to hit. So it's got the lashes, which have an interrupt to do, which is like the first plant mobs at the start of the dungeon. It's got, you know, talking about the elementals. It tells you what they do, what you have to do, and why, basically. So it's quite easy to read. It's also got the color coding key, and even if you want to make WeakAuras about it, it's got the spell IDs in this little key over here. So if you want to make WeakAuras for those spells going off, then the spell IDs and stuff, if you know how to make WeakAuras, are over here as well. So cool little cheat sheet here. It tells you the boss mechanics as well. A little kind of section on each boss. I will probably make a kind of section of, you know, short videos, which are like 2 minutes for the dungeon, where I just go through all the, like, this trash, you need to watch out for this. This is what you interrupt. This boss, this is what you do. Like, I'm going to try and get the video done in 2 minutes, so subscribe if you want to see those. But this cheat sheet, you know, if you just want to look at this and kind of digest it as you go, then I'd recommend this. So it's got one for every single dungeon. And on the overview page, he also has a focus target interrupt WeakAura and a Mythic Plus auto marker, which you can find kind of down here. There's an auto marker. I've got a couple open here. And then, yeah, I'd recommend also that you get a Thundering Affix WeakAura. This one here is one that I'm probably going to use. Ellesmere's one, where it just puts a little circle around you and tells you what you've got. And if you need to clear it, right? Like, it tells you when to clear, basically, to get the maximum uptime on Thundering. So you get a Thundering Affix and stuff like that. Also grab yourself a package of dungeon WeakAuras. You can honestly go anywhere here. This is how I got to these ones. I went to Dragonflight, and then I just went down to Dragonflight dungeons. You can get dungeon specific ones down here. I just went here, picked these ones here, and it's not working right now, but that should take you to this page, and you can kind of just choose whichever package you like. Corsi's usually does a pretty good package, which has like a, if you set it up correctly and read the actual description inside the page, he usually, or he or she, I'm not sure, but they usually tell you how to set it up in this little description. And you sometimes have to download an extra add-on, and you get like a little sound package and sound reminder for every ability, saying like interrupt or move out or watch your feet or something like that, which is quite good for learning the dungeons. There's a similar one for raids, which I'll talk about in a second as well. Whew. Okay, so dungeon WeakAura package, Jimmynickles cheat sheet. Oh yeah, I will probably find a pack that I like and I'll refine it, you know, add a couple air horns like I usually do, put some flashing, glowing stuff on some of the WeakAuras that I think are a bit more important and need to be a bit more in your face. Kind of like a noob version, because I'm a noob. Kind of like a noob version of the WeakAura package. And then I'll probably talk about that and release that in another video later down the line. And then we have the Mythic Dungeon tools. So if we go to, where is it? Mythic Dungeon tools. Mythic Dungeon tools. Right, so this is kind of the routing one. This is still stuck in the olden days. Ruby life pools. So this one is a good add-on to kind of plan your routes in your dungeons. So this is obviously where you spawn in here on this dungeon, and you can kind of like put together which trash you're going to be pulling in which pools, and then say like, okay, we're going to pull this together, and you add a pool. You can import routes. Dratnos, I'll link his YouTube down below. Dratnos does some like routes, and he usually talks about the routes like on a week by week basis. So if you want to check his stuff out, I would check, you know, I'll link that down below. There's also, as I talked about here, this is a bit all over the place. Sorry about this video. It's just super unhinged, but hopefully you'll, you know, find it useful. These are kind of what I talked about, some short 2-minute guides on each dungeon. So I'll link this playlist that I found by some guy called BB Mezzi. He's a pretty smaller YouTuber, so you know, maybe he deserves some love. I just linked the playlist because they're like 2 minutes each, and they're like a month old, so I'm assuming they're done off beta. And yeah, like I think he just talked about the bosses and not so much the trash. But if you put these together with you know, this sheet here, then you should be good in kind of like piecing it together, you know, bit by bit. So that's that. I'm going to start closing some of these tabs. Right. And then this guy, this guy here, Quasi, he did a kind of like hour-long talking about all the different routes and stuff. So I'll link his video down there as well. Tactics did something similar in 25 minutes as well. So I'll link both of their videos down below as well. I'm just kind of shouting out all these resources. Like, I didn't make any of these. I don't want to like credit off their work too much. I do want to give them, you know, recognition. So that's those two. And then we are on to the raids now, I think. So yes, WeakAura package for raids. As I said, something similar to the dungeon package. The ones I usually use are Courses. So I would, if I want to import these, I would just go here. See, it tells you, you know, how to install it, custom sounds, install shared media Courses. So that's another add-on, which I have. But yeah, if you've got these, you just copy the import string. I'm actually going to do it now because before I forget and it becomes raid time. What is this? So open my WeakAuras with /WA, import, and then I'll just paste this in. And it's going to take a second. It's going to import all this stuff. And hopefully it will not crash my PC. Nice. And then you can kind of just move this around to wherever on your screen you'd like. Your kind of like little heads up display to go. And let's say, you know, I have my WeakAuras come up here. In fact, I can actually see where mine will be. If I click down, if I just click load here, it will show the loaded ones, right? So I can now position it somewhere that I like it on my screen. Like let's say I move this raidability timeline. I could put this here, or I could put it like here and make it vertical or something like that. So you can mess around with these. And as I said, you can go into each individual WeakAura as well and like put some emphasis on, you know, which one you feel is like a very, very important ability. Maybe it wants a glow on it or a sound on it or something like that. So I'm going to go through and do that after I've played through the raid for like a couple clears and edit that pack. And then I'll probably talk about it in another video. So that's the raid pack. So I'm just going to chuck that up there for now. And then we have Mythic Trap. So Mythic Trap is a website, really, really good. Just goes through all the boss mechanics with these helpful little kind of like GIFs, like small videos. So let's say I can, you know, I want to read the strats for heroic as a DPS. So you just click these two buttons at the top here. And then there's like a little section if you want to jump to like just what can kill you. like if you've got like literally 10 seconds, by the way, I recommend you prepare more than like in the pull timer, but if you really aren't prepared, you can just see like what's going to kill me, what do I really need to watch out for. But honestly, the page isn't even that long anyway, so all you have to do is go here and then click your role, click which difficulty you want to learn it on, and then just look through it. And it's like phase 1, you fight the boss. Then you just click this little video and it gives you like highlights, tells you, oh look, you're looking out for these spikes. So it'll just keep replaying that so you can really see the animation before you get into the fight. Because if you read a written guide or something, you might not know like how things look, and then it'll even tell you like the tooltip of it, you know, what to do, dodge. You know, it's very like monkey brain, go go. Okay, so it has one of these for every single boss. You can just change on these raid strategies which boss you want to look at. Highly recommend this website. Then you have, if you want video guides, ready, check, pull. Do some really easy to digest ones. So I've got this Reddit thread here which has the infographics that they made. If you just want to have like a quick like Eranog phase 1 recap, you know, this just summarizes the boss in like a couple sentences, and then it links to their video guide here, which are very good. So I'll link all this stuff down below as well. So ready, check, pull for some video guides here. I think their whole playlist is also linked on this Reddit post. So I'll link all of the stuff for all of the video guides, and some other ones, good video guides. Hazelnutty does good ones for like normal heroic as well. Found hers quite easy to follow, and also Signs of Kalani. So I'll link all that stuff. Then if you want a little fun extra mini game, we got this cool little Vault of the Pineapples here, which is like a little I don't know, it's just this little tiny like 8-bit mini game thing. You can play this and you can actually like practice, like you can practice the mechanics down here, like as if you're in the fight. It's just this fun little thing that you can do here, and it will kind of teach you the mechanics as you go. So it's like, oh, place the lava with your friends, and it's like practicing the raid mechanics. Like Eranog, oh okay, I've got to like DPS one of these things, and then it breaks the circle. This is exactly how you do it in the raid. This is exactly how you do it in the raid. So it kind of like teaches you in a fun little way. So I'd maybe have a little read on them, like either do this first and then, let me mute this. Either do this game first and then have a little read of the like mythic trap mechanics to properly like understand fully, or do it, you know, read mythic traps and then test your knowledge in the mini game. Like, but I would recommend both of those, you know, any of these video guides really, and then just play through this game. It takes like half an hour, maybe if that, to do all the bosses on this game. So cool little mini game. Of course, I'll link that down below. And then if you're looking into mythic stuff, I personally recommend Stankie Gaming. There are obviously a bunch of guides that come out for mythic bosses, like Limit do some, I think probably Echo make guides as well, and they're obviously first to kill. But the strat that they use, and the strat that a lot of you guys might use if you're raiding in like anything further than like top 300 or so, you know, will be very different. So I think Stankie Gaming raids at about like a 300-ish. Then he obviously has to put the video together. I'm not exactly sure, Stankie, if you're watching this, I don't know. Sorry, bro. But yeah, like he does some good stuff. I used his guides pretty much. You can see here on my watch stuff religiously. I was a raid leader last season, so yeah, I used his guides and they're really good. I can personally recommend. They're quite long, but they are very in-depth and very easy to follow. So you know, one watch of one of these videos and like you'll never mess up a mythic mechanic again on the Stankie Gaming ones. So big shout out to Stankie. Kind of saved my raid leading career, but honestly, like single-handedly. Then we have like extras I have here, which is this Wowhead kind of document, which is just talking about thundering, and it's giving you a little overview of the dungeons. This links to their written guides on the dungeons as well if you need this. There's the loot item table, sorry, the item level loot table correspondence thing as well. Talks about thundering, talks about seasonal rewards, a bunch of this, and it also tells you the affix rotation for Mythic Plus this season. So first week we're getting Fortified, Raging, Quaking, Thundering, and it'll tell you this is like a 10-week rotation. So about every 2 months or so, we're gonna reset the affixes once again. So this will be for the whole season, I believe. So you can always look what's going to be next week if you know what the current week is and stuff. So I'll link this one again. Then I've got this massive document which tells you kind of like everything about Dragonflight. everything about professions and stuff like this. It has like 17 pages on professions. So if you're still confused about those, maybe have a little read of this. I'll link that down below. And the last thing, kind of outdated, it's a pre-patch spreadsheet that I found. Look at all these tabs on the top. It has all this information in here. So not something that I've used personally, but I thought I'd just mention it. If there's like anything that you need a little bit extra knowledge on, it's very, very fleshed out. Profession pairs and all this stuff, different builds for each profession and stuff like that. So just thought it'd be cool to mention and give you access to. So I'll link all of these down in the description below. I'll probably make like a little written up version of this video and put that on my Patreon. So I'll link obviously all of these again in that, and maybe like put a couple words here and there about each thing. So yeah, if you want to support me and what I'm doing here on YouTube and on Twitch, go follow the Twitch and consider checking out the Patreon. That will be somewhere in the 100,000 links that are going to be in the description down below. All right. Hopefully you have a great start to the season. I'll see you very, very soon. A lot of content coming out. We're going to the moon in Dragonflight, this channel. All right. So yeah, subscribe for more. Make sure you like the goddamn video, because if you're still here, you clearly found something in it, right? And I will see you in the next one. Have a great day. And as always, peace.